I took a poll amongst dog lovers, and the question basically was, what do you want? When you think about your dog, what is it that you want for your dog? And while there was a couple of common themes, one of the ones that stuck out to me the most was that in general, people just wanted to have a happy dog. They wanted their dog to be happy. That was their goal. And if you're somebody that struggles with a fearful dog or a reactive dog, there's a part of you that feels like your dog isn't happy. How can you have a happy dog when they're struggling with, fearful stimuluses or reactive behavior? But that got me to thinking, what is a happy dog? Because we all say we want a happy dog, but what if we completely misunderstood what happiness actually is? Because a busy dog isn't always a happy dog. A tired dog isn't always a fulfilled dog. So in this episode, I thought, let's talk about it a little bit more. What does it take to actually create quote unquote happiness in our dogs? And why is it everything to do with needs, expectations, and your relationship? Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. If you're somebody who is thinking, I would like to dive a little bit deeper into this beyond obedience stuff. Because Tracy seems awesome and I'd like to hang out with her a little bit more, then you need to get inside our Fearless Framework student community. That is a 12-month online program that helps you connect with your dog in deeper ways, understand your dog in more meaningful ways, and be the person that your dog thinks you are. So if that is something that you have been interested in, I invite you to join us, beyondobedience.ca/fearless. And those students who are in the Fearless Framework get 50% off one-on-one calls with me. So if you have something that you just want to sit down and talk with your dog behavior nerd bestie, you can do that over there. But alas, I'm not gatekeeping here. So if you or just somebody that wants to sit down and chat with me, you can do that too. All of that information will be in the show notes, and I will see you there. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Normally I applaud you being here. I just applauded myself. I hit that button too soon. Normally I'm like, so glad you're here, and then applause for you. But this time I'm like, welcome to my podcast. Slow clap for me. Sometimes we all need a little applause, and I am no different. So there you go. Welcome to Beyond Obedience. My friend, if this is your first time here, welcome. Super duper welcome, because this is a journey. This is a journey that I've been on. This stuff here is a little bit different. I will tell you, as someone who has been talking about this stuff for many, many years, I'm so excited about this podcast and that you found me and that I found you, because it has reinforced my love of all things beyond obedience. And just recently, the podcast hit over 100,000 downloads, and I couldn't be happier with that. I am so excited. So thank you. If you're brand new, welcome. If you're someone who's been here for a while and you've been sharing this with your friends and letting other people know about it, thank you. The goal here, if I had one goal, okay, I'm going to say two goals. If I had one goal, I would say I really want to make it known that you are enough. You are enough for your dog. You are everything that your dog needs. You are enough. I think we're inundated in a dog training industry right now that makes you feel less than. And I hate that for you. So So I think that you're enough. But if there is another thing that I wanted to point, if I could pick two things, it would be that it doesn't have to be this hard. It doesn't have to be this hard. Living with dogs should be easy, and it should be fun, and it should be, it should be easy. That's all. It should be, it's easier than people are making it out to be. I'll tell you that. We've made it very complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Now, does it mean that it takes no time? Does it mean that it takes no effort? No, of course not. It takes effort, but I think we're focusing on all the wrong things. We're focusing on all the wrong things. We're not focusing on, the dog is who a dog is, what a dog is. We're not focusing on that as much, but we're also not focusing on, what is our part in this relationship? What do we do? How are we showing up? How can we, take our knowledge, expand our knowledge, and then show up in a way that really makes living with dogs so much easier? And that's what we're all about here. So there you go. There you go. All right. Today on the podcast, I wanted to talk about happiness. Why? Because I'm currently sad. I am sad. Just in general, the world is sad right now. So let's not focus on the world sadness. Let's focus on happiness of dogs, the happiness of dogs. Because the other day on my Facebook page, I posted a picture of Gunther. Big shock there, right? I post so many pictures of Gunther. But anyway, digress. The point is, I posted a picture of Gunther, and I had a few comments, and many of them were like, he looks so happy. And I looked at the picture and I was like, he does look happy. And that got me thinking, like, do dogs look happy? And I was like, yeah, they do. Right? You can tell when there's a dog that's happy. I mean, we know, like, there's body language stuff when dogs are happy, but from a still picture, like, you can be like, that dog looks happy. You see it in their eyes. You can see it in the way their mouth is. Like, you can just see it. You can see a happy looking dog. And I thought to myself, I think Gunther is pretty freaking happy. And so I wanted to talk about happiness. I know I've talked about it before, but I want to talk about it again because I really do believe that is the goal for everybody. The overarching goal is we want our dogs to be happy, but happiness isn't created by doing more. It's something that shows up when our needs are met. And I know, like, want, that doesn't sound quite as like, oh, really? We're going to talk about meeting their needs? I'm like, yeah, it does. It's when our needs are being met. It's when our expectations are clear. It's like consistency in our environment. It's emotional safety is what it is. Like, emotional safety is what allows us to open up, to express ourselves, to feel, safe enough to do the things and be who we are and all of that stuff. And I think that also applies to dogs. I don't think dogs are any different in that way. And one of the things, and I heard this from a relationship podcast or something once, where they said that most unhappiness in couples comes from unmet expectations. And I thought when I was listening to it, because I'm always, it's funny how I always relate everything back to dogs. So I'm like, that could also be the same for dogs. And I do believe it's the same for dogs. If you think about it, one of the things that I hear the most as a dog trainer is people get frustrated with their dogs because they'll say, quote unquote, the dog should have known better. Either, we've done this drill so many times, the dog should have known better, or happens with adolescents, puppies all the time, right? They're like, I did this training. This dog should know better. So that happens all the time. Like, the dog should have known better. And then when the dog didn't do it, it didn't meet my expectations. I expected the dog to know this, to do the thing because it knows better. But it also goes the other way, right? Dogs have expectations. And it's not what we think, right? And if you know me, you know me. If you have been to any of my seminars or heard me talk about this, one of my favorite quotes of all times, the thing that really stopped me in my tracks the first time I read it, and then I just sort of kept on reading it, was a quote from Dr. Bruce Fogel from the book, The Dog's Mind. A Dog's Mind? The Dog's Mind. Ugh. I wish I had become more prepared for this. Anyway, I'm also going to butcher the quote. You would think for somebody that has said it so many times and it's her favorite quote, she would know it off by heart. However, but alas, my friends, menopause. But the essence of the quote is that a dog does not expect to be treated like a human. A dog expects a human to act like a dog, to hunt together, to play together, to sleep in the same den. That's what dogs expect, because dogs only know how to be dogs. Now, of course, they're adaptable, all of those things, but when they come to us, they're not expecting Egyptian cotton sheets and the best of the best organic blah, blah, blahs. They expect you to act like them. They expect you to understand them. They don't expect to be treated like furry little people. And because of that, we let our dogs down all the time. We're not meeting their expectations at all. We don't go hunt together with them. There's a lot of things we don't go hunting together. I mean, we may let them sleep in the same den, who's kidding who. But we don't do all of the things that dogs expect us to do. We don't necessarily play with them the way dogs want to play. We create our own games and we're like, this is how we're going to play. We're going to play by my rules. That's it, friend. Right? But we don't take the time to really get to know and to understand the dogs the way that dogs, the way the dogs do. So we aren't meeting their expectations. And when that happens, there can be some frustrations, both on the part of the human and part of the dog. And what unhappy looks like in dogs is going to be anxious behavior, reactive behavior, unsettled behavior, always having to be on and alert. They can't relax. That's not a happy dog. Not because they're bad, but because something is missing. But a happy dog actually looks like one who can rest. That's a big one. I don't think we think about that. I was looking at my dogs the other day and I was working and they were all lying around me and they were all sleeping. And then you suddenly hear one of them, it's usually Rue. You'll hear the snoring or, the doggy dreams where they make the little noises and then they move their little feet and you're like, they're dreaming about something, But I was looking around and I kind of took a moment there and I was like, look at how wonderfully peaceful and lovely this scene is, that all of my dogs feel safe enough to rest. Rest is part of their safety. And they understand, they know what's expected of them. There's no curveballs in their life where they're like, that came out of left field. So there's routine and there's rhythms and there's patterns and there's things that they can depend on. And it provides them this environment where they're not constantly scanning and worried and thinking about what's happening in the world, right? Happiness is a dog who feels safe enough to just exist. And isn't that a lovely, lovely thing? So it's not really about more. It doesn't mean more walks or more stimulation or more stuff. Us humans are so good at just getting more stuff. Right? Here's more things for you. It's literally about how the dog experiences life with you. And this is where, when a dog feels safe, when they have those expectations, they understand where they fit in, they know what's expected of them, and everything, feels safe enough for them to rest and to be comfortable doing their own thing. That's when you have a dog that becomes more optimistic. Now, there is a trainer out there that I followed for a short time. I liked his stuff. Don't get me wrong. I liked his stuff, but I felt like it got sort of too technical. I like things to be easy. That's why you won't hear me quoting all the dog training terms and blah. I like things to be easy. So not that the information was bad, but he spoke of this idea of dogs being optimistic or pessimistic, and a dog that is optimistic in life is a dog that will try, and a dog that trusts, and a dog that is more resilient in the world, right? Like optimism and a happy dog isn't one that's constantly entertained. It's one that feels secure, like I don't know, I keep on saying in their world. It's like, I feel like it's hard to explain, but that optimism allows them to feel better about things. And one of the things that, and this is going to come to the test. If you're in the Fearless Framework, I mean, you'll have access and privy to all this information, but this is going to come to the test. If you know, Gunther is my youngest, and unfortunately during like his prime part of his development, I lost Nigel, my noof, and that has been devastating. Why am I telling you all this now? Tracy, you were talking about happiness and now it's getting sad. I just wanted to let you know that because of that, he missed out on some socialization and like doing things with him. Like I haven't done anything with him since Nigel died. Well, before Nigel died, because he was sick for a while. So we haven't gone out. We haven't done anything. And now he's 9 months. And many people would be like, oh, I've missed the window. The window's closing rapidly. But the funny thing is while I haven't gone out and taken him to do anything out there, exposed him to people and things and whatnot, I have been working with him working. I say that with quotations. I have been with him building this resilient dog, building this relationship with me, building this optimistic, happy dog that when I step out into the world, and I won't know till I know, but when I step out in the world, my hope is that, he's not going to walk out in the world and be like, these things are all terrifying. He might have moments of, I'm not sure what that is, but my hope is that with all this work that I've done, I'm going to have a dog that's going to look at me and be like, you're okay, I'm okay, and be optimistically walking through the world, right? With openness, with the idea that he can handle things. I actually don't have a fear of him being, bad, terrible with other dogs or bad with people. I don't have that fear. Now, that doesn't mean I'm just going to like let him go all willy-nilly once I do start taking him out. But it does mean that I'm not walking into this going, oh gosh, I didn't really socialize him. I hope this goes well, because I know I have a happy dog. I know I have an optimistic dog. I know I have a dog that is content in the world. And I know I've kind of gone a little bit off, but now that I've talked about this idea of socialization, I think this should give you permission, for those of you that perhaps got a COVID dog, or maybe for whatever your own circumstances, you didn't do your quote unquote what society thinks is your due diligence of getting your dog out there socializing in the world. That if you haven't done that, and yet you've still done things with your dog where you're going out on adventures with them and you're taking them out to spend time with you, and you're celebrating their wins and doing all of those things, that you have a happy, optimistic dog. And if you have a happy, optimistic dog, they're more likely to do okay out there. Now, hear me when I say this. Hear me when I say this. I'm also not going to go out there and be like, oh my gosh, my dog didn't get out and meet a bunch of other people, so I'm going to go out and like say, go pet my dog and see my dog and do all those things with my dog. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. When I go out with my dogs, my purpose and my goal for my dogs is actually for us to experience things together. It is not for me to go out and find people to pet my dog or see my dog or do. It's not about, I always want to, if I can, anchor you back into, it's always about you and the dog. It's about you and the dog. It's never about the environment. It's never about what they see or what they do out there. It's always about you and the dog. How are you and the dog experiencing the world together? That's what socialization is to me. So when I take him out, it's going to be him and I going out to experience some world together. Him and I as a unit. Not, okay, here we are now, I'm going to let people touch you. We're going to go do all these things. That's not what it's about. It's about him and I experiencing the world together. I don't know how this got into Gunther and I and what we're doing. But hey, if you're in part of the Fearless Framework and you're wondering how that's going to pan out and how that's going to look, I'll be sharing all of that inside the Fearless Framework for my Fearless Framework students. So you all get to be a part of that little journey and see how we cope with it, how he does, and all of that stuff is happening inside there. Listen, friend. That got off the rails on me. At the end of the day. So if you're chasing happiness for your dog, maybe the question isn't like, what more can you do? Maybe it's just, do you understand what happiness looks like for your dog? It's simpler than we think. You know, it really is simpler than we think. It's not about the stuff, and it's not about, having more things, or it's simpler than we think. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. Make sure you hop into the Living Beyond Obedience group. Let's talk about happiness. What does happiness mean to you? And what does happiness mean to your dog? And maybe just sitting down and thinking about what that is. Because we all sit around hoping for happiness. But when it actually comes to being happy, I think it's simpler. That's just me. All right, listen. If you like this kind of thing, be sure to do me a favor. Head on over to Apple Podcasts. Leave me a 5-star written review. Really helps to push the podcast out to more and more people. If you're following me on Spotify, leave me a comment over there. Be sure to hit the follow button. You can follow me over there. That really helps as well. And as always, my dog-loving friend, get out there today, and be the person that your dog thinks you are. Because your dog thinks that you're amazing. And so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only. It is not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.